it's a 15th century painting that depicts a horrifying scene, a painting with a haunting backstory, or any of the other oddities in between, welcome back to Bumblebee. Join me today as we count down the top 10 unsettling paintings you weren't supposed to see. Starting off this list in our number 10 spot, we have Ancient Aliens. Okay, so with all these recent UFOs, I just had to talk about this painting. With pop culture and the news and social media, it's really easy for us to write off UFO or alien sightings as hoaxes, or people who are trying to receive their 5 minutes of fame, or people who thought that they saw something but were mistaken by another piece of human technology. But what about the people who claimed these kinds of sightings long before the internet, or international news, or even human-made flying objects existed? The 15th century painting, The Madonna with St. Giovanni, depicts the Virgin Mary, but also in the background it features some sort of hovering disc-like object that looks a lot like a UFO. This isn't the only example either, as we've also seen some sort of otherworldly beings in ancient cave paintings and Sanskrit scrolls, and there are some people who even swear it is also written in the book of Ezekiel. It certainly says something that potential alien sightings have existed since so far back in our human history, so it must either point to proof of alien existence or just human beings being obsessed with conspiracies from quite early on. In our number 9 spot today, we have Saturn devouring his sun. This absolute nightmare fuel of a painting comes to us from around 1823, and it is a depiction of one of the most famous stories in Greek mythology. This is the myth of Cronus, whose name was Romanized as Saturn, and how he feared being overthrown by his children, so instead of going to therapy to deal with whatever he had going on, he just ate them all. It is said that this painting may have been inspired by another artist's earlier version, and that one, while also haunting and beautiful, just doesn't hold the same absolutely horrific qualities as this one does. The first painting is a bit brighter and more of a conventional depiction, while the one I'm talking about today just gives off pure psychotic energy. This painting shows Saturn eating his child with the head and one arm already consumed. The brightest parts of the painting are the flesh and the blood and Saturn's large, bulging eyes. This painting is of course an amazing piece of art, but I think we can all agree it is absolutely terrifying as well. In our number 8 spot today, we have Marat. The Death of Marat is a painting from 1793 by Jacques-Louis David, and it depicts the demise of French revolutionary leader Jean-Paul Marat. The painting shows Jean-Paul lying in the bathtub on July 13th, 1793, after Charlotte Corday took his life. This painting is regarded as one of the most important and famous images of the French Revolution. Charlotte snuck in to see Jean-Paul by using a note which promised to share details of a counter-revolutionary ring. Jean-Paul suffered from a skin condition which left him in the bathtub quite often, and it became a place where he usually worked. Charlotte killed Jean-Paul in the bathtub, but she did not attempt to run away and was later tried and executed for her actions. The painting shows Jean-Paul holding a note, which is of course written in French, but translates to, "Given that I am unhappy, I have a right to your help," which is an incredibly eerie message. In our number 7 spot today, we have Dante and Virgil in Hell. This terrifying work of art was created in 1850 and is currently on display in Paris. This painting is depicting a scene from Dante's Divine Comedy, which is basically about Dante being taken on a journey through hell, with Virgil showing him the way. The painting is depicting a scene where Dante and Virgil are witnessing two damned souls intertwined in eternal combat. One of the souls was believed to be a heretic, which is how he landed in the underworld, and the other soul, who's biting his neck, is thought to be a man who falsely claimed another man's inheritance, which certainly is not a good thing to do. The painting also features some sort of terrifying creature flying in the background, as well as a lot more damned souls fighting in the fiery pits. This whole painting truly is both a stunning piece of art, as well as an absolute nightmare. Speaking of nightmares, in our number 6 spot today we have The Nightmare. The Nightmare was created in 1781, and there's a lot going on in this one. The painting shows a woman who is fast asleep with her arms thrown out below her, which is all fine and well, but there is also some sort of demon incubus just sitting on her chest, which is absolutely weird and not okay. The painting is said to display a woman dreaming, and also the nightmare she is having, which is a very eerie description. There are red velvet curtains hanging in the back with a creepy horse's head poking out of them, which is also said to lend into the nightmare. The colors represent so much of what is going on in this painting, with the sleeping woman being brightly colored colored, and the rest of the painting being much darker in contrast. Because of what this painting really is getting at with the addition of the incubus, the painting has often been criticized as being too scandalous. In our number 5 spot today we have the guillotined heads. Well, it really is all in the name with this one. This painting comes to us from 1814 and it is showing us a pretty clear image of death and decay. The guillotine is definitely one of the scariest inventions from our past, and this painting does not put it in any better of a light. The painting shows 2 heads, one of them being a female with her eyes closed and her skin pale white, and then there's the head of a male and things get a lot more gruesome with him. You can see the jagged marks on the skin of the neck where you can really get a sense for how harsh this type of punishment really was. With both his mouth and eyes open, the artist was able to capture the bone-chilling, lifeless expression on his face. Apparently the artist would really keep guillotined body parts so that he would be able to paint them with an accurate likeness, which is both incredible dedication and very, very creepy. I wonder if we're looking at the real face of someone who suffered from this horrible punishment. In our number 4 spot today we have the Judgement of CAMBYSES. This painting was created in 1498 and 1499 and it depicts a pretty gruesome scene. It is one of very few paintings from the artist that doesn't depict some sort of religious theme, which is interesting considering the fact that he went so far off the religious track with this one. This painting is showing the arrest and subsequent gruesome flaying of a corrupt judge surrounded by a crowd of people. This piece was actually commissioned by municipal authorities as a piece to be hung in the executive of the city's room in the town hall. I'm not sure what is scarier, the painting in general or the fact that someone commissioned such a horrifying scene. Either way, this painting is definitely best viewed from afar. In our number 3 spot today we have this supernatural being. This painting was made by Katsushika Hokusei and it belongs to a Japanese genre of art that is about supernatural beings which are painted on wood blocks. The painting depicts a skeletal man who truly is straight out of a nightmare. The story behind this one is that it apparently is about an actor who was killed. The legend states that he actually ended up coming back to life like a zombie, and that is what the painting is about. Well, I guess it's more like a zombie ghost thing as he comes back to haunt his wife and the new man she has fallen in love with. The legend is already quite terrifying and this artist found a way to really bring that horror to life. His depiction of the sunken in eyes and the horrifying grin with the clear representation of the thin skin and those spindly little fingers, it really just makes this painting what it is, and that is a work of sheer terrifying art. In our number 2 spot today we have Medusa. This painting is by Caravaggio and it shows a story that might be familiar to some of us. The story of Medusa, the woman with snakes for hair that when you look at you turn to stone, and this is a painting that really captures her essence perfectly as well as capturing a horrifying moment. This painting was meant to be a depiction of the defeat of Medusa. The legend goes that Perseus, who is the son of Zeus and Danae, was given a shield by Athena. He took this shield to battle Medusa and managed to outsmart her by letting her catch a glimpse of her own reflection in the shield. She then turned herself to stone, and this is when he took his sword and beheaded her. That is the moment this painting is portraying, the moment Medusa was defeated. I'm not really sure if it gets more cursed than that. This painting was created by Caravaggio in 1597 and it was actually his second of the kind, which is a little creepy. Somebody check in on him. In our number 1 spot today we have Anguished Man. This is a painting that holds many secrets, the first 2 being when and who created it. This painting comes from an unknown source and is absolutely eerie. It depicts exactly what the name would suggest, a man looking like he is in great pain and suffering. The painting is apparently made of a mix of paint and blood, and it is said that the creator ended up taking his own life after making it. Because of the unknown origins and this little tale that goes along with it, the painting already gives off some extremely eerie energy, but if that wasn't enough, the man who currently owns the painting claims that it is haunted. He even uploads YouTube videos of the strange happenings around the painting, and it is said that sometimes whispers can be heard coming from it. Whatever is going on with this painting, it sure can't be good. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Bye!